Greetings, Bible nerds. You probably remember these two figures. This is Joseph running away from Potiphar's wife, and all you saw were the figures in the previous video. I noticed that we're lacking some interior, so I needed to add some interior pillars. So I did a pencil drawing that added to the original pencil drawing and scanned the drawing in, and you can see the blue line pencil pillars and architecture in the background. So what I did then, so I have created, I'm just going to demonstrate because I'm kicking myself that I was not recording the entire process while I was doing it, so I'm just going to have to show you step by step on a brand new layer. I'm creating a brand new, this is not a raster layer, but it's called a vector layer. So because I'm going to use vector, I'm going over here and I'm going to choose this. I'm going to choose the ellipse, make sure I'm on the right layer, and make this real big, and I'm going to make an ellipse. Gonna click and drag from one opposite corner to the other opposite diagonal corner, let it go, and then it's going to ask you which, do you want it to make spin around, do you want to rotate it around the axis? I say no. I'm going to click the shift button and click the mouse again. So this is one of those tools that does not work with the Apple Pencil. I found that out the hard way. It only works with the mouse and not the Apple Pencil. So over here, we're going to use another ellipse, drag it from one corner to the opposite corner. If we were boxing, we would call these neutral corners. And once again, it asks me whether or not I want to rotate it. I say no, shift button, click the mouse again, and it stays. So now I'm going to use the eraser way over here and erase the parts I don't want. Erase that part. And I'm going to erase this part, yes. So now, what tool should I use next? I'm going to go back over here. Now it's the ellipse button and not the so this button changes no matter, depending on what you have chosen last. So now it looks like an ellipse, and if I click that, it'll turn into a straight line. And if I click this, is what I really want. This is the curved line. So I go from point A to point B, unclick, and then I'm just moving my mouse. I'm not touching the mouse button at all. Wherever I move the mouse, it's going to follow. If I move it all the way around, it'll do this. It'll do a little dance. But I want it to follow the shape that I've drawn already. And I'll do the same thing on the other side from point A to point B. And then drag and then click. Not click and drag, but opposite is drag and then click. So you notice I didn't connect it here because I want to make another curved line going the opposite direction. Click from point A to point B, drag, and then click. And look at that. So all of these things are what I have just learned recently, like on the job training. So now I want to draw some straight lines. Well, you've already seen where I get that from. Click this straight line from A to B. Boom. From this A to this B. And boom. Wait for it. Boom. And Command plus. So now let's use the ellipse again. And, oops, I forgot. It's going to ask me what direction it wants to be. I say no, click the shift button, click the mouse button, and then we're going to erase. Maybe I should have done this part before I drew those straight lines. Yep. Yes, I should. Let's draw some other ellipses now while we're here. From one neutral corner to another neutral corner. Unclick, shift, re-click. Ellipses number 2. And unclick, shift, re-click. All right, let's go to the eraser tool. And we're going to erase. And, oh, I missed one. Let's do another ellipse. Neutral corner to neutral corner. Erase the rest that I don't want. I forgot. Let's undo. Unclick, shift, re-click. Now go to the eraser again. Erase this. Erase that part. Command minus. Let's erase these lines completely. Not that completely. Undo. All right, so now let's go back to the base. Command plus, command plus. Go back to the line tool, which is now the circle tool. Change it to the line tool. And since these are straight up and down lines, what I can do is click the shift button, and that will give you either up and down or 45 degree or 90 degree, 45, another. So it shifts at 45 degrees at a time. So since I want to go up and down, I'll put it there, A to B, let go. So this one is not going to be a 45 degree angle, so I'm not going to choose shift at the same time. Boom, there's your base. And then let's enlarge this a little bit and go back to the straight line. Now go from top to bottom. Like that. And like that. Just like so. So now it looks like that. So we'll call that layer. Where did my mouse go? There it is. We'll call that layer pillar Saturday's pillar, because I don't want to get confused from the other pillars that I've already drawn previously. So now I have so I want to save that. So I click Save As, and then I can duplicate this layer. Right-click on that layer, choose Duplicate Layer, and Command T for transform, which means I can slide it over here. Oh, and if I want it to go exactly the same latitude, I click the Shift button, and it goes, it slides Let's cancel. Let's do that again. Shift button first, and then, nope, Control T, and then Shift button, and then slide. Yes, that's what you want. Keep in mind that this hand drawing, these blue lines are drawn by hand. So then I click Enter, and then I say yes to the dress that way. So now anything that's supposed to be behind the figure, I'm going to erase those lines from here to here. Erase this, but not that. Erase this, but not that. All right. So you can do that for all these other layers. So notice that these layers are taller than, these pillars rather, are taller than the first two pillars. So I'm going to duplicate the first layer again, and Command T for nope, that's the wrong pillar. Undo. I want this pillar. Duplicate. Control. Command T, that is. Why did that happen? Undo. This is live, people. And it's Saturday night, so this is why you want to make sure you're choosing the right layer by choosing the making it visible or not. And nothing. Oh, there it is. That's the one. That's the one that I want. You're the one I want. Ooh, ooh, ooh. All right, so now I'm going to duplicate this layer. Duplicate layer. Command T on a Mac, Control T if you're on a PC. And notice that's probably, nah, you probably want that to be a little taller. So we're going to Command T again, and then we're going to drag to make that a little taller. Drag it over. Perfect. Click OK, and we're good. So now we can duplicate that layer. Command T, bring it over here. Make this one a little taller. So now we're going to use a little bit of illusion, optical illusion here, because it's not going to get any taller. I can't stretch it. Clip Studio Paint does not allow me to stretch these pillars like Photoshop does. If I was in Photoshop, I could make it longer without making it wider. So, but in Clip Studio Paint, all I can do is the exact same size. It's a proportional transformation. So what I'm going to do is say OK. I'm going to make the top as wide as I need it to be. Click OK. And then make sure I'm on the right layer. I am going to use the lasso tool and cut it in half behind the figure. And then we're going to move it down. Nope. Transform only this, so Command T again. Use the down arrow. And click OK. So we're going to make it fit visually. Make it fit the lines that were already drawn behind her. And this base has to go. Which base is that? That base. That base has to go. We'll use the eraser button. I said eraser button. Why is it not working? Because it's not on the right layer. Okay, eraser button. You may notice that I'm fumbling a little bit because I'm used to Photoshop more than I'm used to using Clip Studio Paint. I've only been using Clip Studio CSP for not very long at all. So everything that is behind the figure should be erased. And how about the next pillar? Nope, not that one, not that one, not that one. Yes, this is the one. So now let's choose this layer and erase everything behind the figure. Erase everything behind the head, torso, behind this cloak. And now that completes the illusion. So now we're going to, let's find the first Saturday pillar I created. Make sure that's the right one. Nope, that's not it. Not it. Where is it? There it is. And we'll duplicate that. Command T. Drag it over. And we'll do the same thing here. Make the top as wide as we need it to be. All right. So now let's click OK to that one. And we're going to erase everything that shouldn't be showing. And there you go. There are your vector layer pillars. Now that we have the vector layer pillars plotted out, now we have to put something on the pillars. The Egyptian pillars were painted, and let's make sure. Now I'm using the iPad this time with the iPencil, and now I'm going to choose the pencil tool, and then from there go to real pencil and choose that. And then we'll go back to the iPad, and you will be surprised at how real it actually acts. So I'm going to make a little leaf here, and then another leaf here. And you can see how I was very surprised when I saw the results of this titled Real Pencil. And yes, I do agree, it does look very real. So this time I'm going to make the leaf curve a little bit along with so I'm using the Apple Pencil. I know you can't see that on the video because I'm just taking a video of the actual screen, and you actually can't see the tool that I'm using. So this is just an example of, this is not the actual drawing that I actually drew this drawing already a few days ago. This is just an example of what can be done. And then we'll just shade that in. And let's do some rastering. So I'm going to follow the curvature of the shape. So the reason I used vector lines for this object, you want to use ruler. If you're drawing by hand, you want to use rulers for objects, or circle templates, oval templates for objects. But if you're drawing a figure or drapery, then that is going to look better if you drew it by hand. It's going to be, you don't draw drapery by measuring out the wrinkles, or you don't draw a human figure by measuring the muscles. So, but the vectors allow me to measure the shape and the curves as if it was manufactured. And I'm going to make this side darker. And then let's go over again, not as far this time. And then I'll show you what happens after I remove the vector layer. And let's give this one line on the outside. And then let's remove the vector layer, shall we? Boom. Look at that. So I'll show you what the actual drawing looks like that I actually drew. Let's show you the whole thing. Come on, you can do it. Fit the screen. There we go. And now, come on, mouse. Fit the screen, and then we'll remove the layer I just drew. Remove the walls and ceiling, and let's show you this. So, as you can tell, I drew one pillar with the pencil, and then I copied and pasted and enlarged it so that it would fit into those vector lines. And so at the same time, so it looks like it was manufactured. It looks like the object was manufactured by the early Egyptians, but the painting was done by hand, which that would have been done, it actually would have been done that way by the early Egyptians. So that was my goal. And if I remove the raster lines, then, excuse me, the vector lines, then I think that gets me closer to where I want. So if I put the vector lines back, you can see that I'm going to be working on some ceiling and some walls and some background pillars and some molding. So stay tuned for the rest of the interior of this cover drawing. So until next time, may God's grace be with you, and we'll see you next Sunday. Peace.